when I saw that Pledge of Allegiance. I thought, ooh, we're going to have
otherwise you're just sitting down the whole time.
Yep, I am in sweatpants, so that's fine. Okay. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move we adopt the agenda.
I have Billy for the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
From Pam. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we need to do a roll call vote, Sam, or is it okay? Okay.
We don't have to because this isn't a formal commission.
Perfect. Okay. It doesn't look like we have any public, I don't think, here. So no public comment listed. Nope. That's not listed on the agenda.
Nope, we've received none.
Okay. Then can I get a motion to approve the minutes? Did everybody read the minutes? It has been a while since we met.
I move.
Of October 20th?
Yes. 2020. Yeah.
I second it.
That was Pam and Billy with the second.
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
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 And Scott will abstain.
And Scott will abstain.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. All right. No fundraising activity report?
Not today.
Okay. Scott, you're going to see these meetings are super fast.
I think you skipped the financial report though.
Oh, I did. Sorry. Yes.
That's
Let's go back to the financial report. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. I'm going to share my screen. I think I am. I had it up. Now I have to find it. Hold on. Please hold. There it is. This is what happens when you're doing multiple things at once. Okay. Where'd it go? Let me close this and see if it'll come up. Okay, there we go. Sorry, too many things going on. Can you see the screen there with the report? Okay, great.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is as of the end of the year, so December of 2020. We did not have any activity in youth subsidy. And then in senior subsidy, we had a small donation come in of $100. So a note out there. Under Yountville Arts, we had the transfer come in from their revenue, and then some donations and contributions and some small expenses. So that would have, the donations and contributions would have been for the elementary school sculpture. And then we had a small expense come out for that as well, for the school sculpture. The community fund, this is mainly made up of pickleball funds raised at this point. They did spend the majority of their funds on some new facility improvements, and they also contributed towards the new fence covering there.
Screen, yeah.
So they've drawn down to about $450 there left in that fund. We also have the Bocce Club Improvements Fund, which just has sat no expenses and no revenue. The Community Thanksgiving Funds, we had $921 come in from the event this year. And then we had some expenses for that event as well. And so they actually brought in a little bit more money than they spent this year on supplies, and got quite a bit of donations for the delivered meal. So that fund stays at $708 as the balance. And then there's all the detail. So I won't go into that unless you have specific questions. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have a question there.
Yeah.
On the Thanksgiving fund, you had $925 carryover, $800 and some dollars spent, and then there's still $900 left.
So no, the fund balance started at $678, and then they brought in $925 this year. and they spent $897. So it ends, the fund end balance is $708.
Billy,
Is that
there
what
was
that
a
said?
little number at the top of that screen
Okay.
that said carryover.
Okay.
I think in lieu of an orientation to my role in this, the foundation,
Yes,
I think
we haven't got
I'd
to
like to
schedule that yet.
request some one-on-one time with you, Samantha, or with Steve to understand the origins of these funds, where the money has come in the past, and what other funds there are that are more standard or recurring that the Community Foundation monitors. I noted on the website the senior subsidy fund, the youth fund, and arts fund. I did not see, as I recall, on the website the Thanksgiving fund. So I'd like to better understand how that fund is created and what the fundraising opportunities or even procedures are for that one specifically, as it one I wasn't as familiar with just doing my quick research on the website.
Okay.
And if I might add, on the website, the link to the agendas and minutes is broken. It doesn't lead to anything, so I was not able to do too much more research in advance of this meeting. So I would like to meet with you or Steve just to understand some history and origin.
Yeah, absolutely. So we haven't had a chance to schedule that, and I will email you to do so, and then I'll double check the website and see what needs to be fixed there.
Hey,
for sure.
Sam, I'd also kind of, I mean, I'm fairly new at this myself. I guess just as far as some of the other parts of it too, besides the Thanksgiving, just to get a kind of background check.
Yeah, so why don't I'll send it, see when we can, maybe the three of us all meet and just go over kind of some of the history and that type of thing. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Good idea, Scott.
So that report you just receive and file.
Any other questions about the fundraising activity report? No.
No.
Nope. Okay, that was really our big thing. So no fundraising activity report, and then we do have a new funding request
Yes.
that was added
Late. Yeah.
late.
So I apologize. I try not to do that, but in this circumstance, the information just came out, and the deadline to submit for the grant is actually after your next meeting. So it was prudent to get it on here. So generally, Rhonda Scher would represent the Arts Commission on, that's her role on the foundation, but she was unable to be here. So she did send a letter of support. But basically, anytime that we apply for a grant using the Town of Yountville Community Foundation as the 501c3 fiduciary body, we should be bringing that before the board for their review and approval. And so the grant that we are looking at would be for Yountville Arts. It's the Arts and Culture Grant that is offered through Napa County. And Jessica, I think you're actually on that board. We haven't, in the past, we have not applied for this grant because we were not able to without a 501c3 that had been operational for at least a year. And so we are now able to be considered for grant funding. And we're specifically going to apply for Art Sip and Stroll and see if we're able to put together some programming for that and get a little bit of additional funding, especially coming up with the June event. We're really anticipating some added costs due to COVID regulations and potentially a drop in donations and revenue. So I'm hoping that we can build a solid grant application. I would like to read into the record Rhonda's email, if that is okay.
Yep.
Okay. So dear Samantha, Chair Penman, and TOY-CF directors, I regret not being able to attend the TOY-CF meeting today. I have some art walk business to take care of in Sonoma County. I note the addition of 9A on the agenda and wish to express my full support. If I were at the meeting, it would be a personal yes vote from me. As you know, the grant application is a very important ingredient of the funding for our Art Sip and Stroll event. The Yountville Arts Commission has been actively working on 2021 being a live event since the COVID protocols of last April allowed us to hold only a virtual event. With the Art Sip and Stroll event date moved to June this year, we are more confident in bringing the return of our traditional live event. Beyond the obvious support to the artists and the arts, Art Sip and Stroll brings overnights, wine tasting appointments, and restaurant bookings to Yountville, which is a much needed boost to our local economy, especially now. I urge the TOYCF directors to vote to support the filing of our grant funding application. Best, Rhonda.
I don't think I can vote on this. I think there's some weird, probably, because I'm the vice chair for that county committee. I will just say one thing, just to keep in mind for you guys. We did change the funding parameters this year for that grant, so it is kind of structured as emergency funds more than it has been in the past. So just make sure that you take a look at the new guidelines. I'm sure like it would still fall within what they're funding, but just the way you're going to word it might need to be a little different. And that's all I will say.
Okay. So I will note in the minutes that you will not be voting on this item due to a conflict because you also sit on that board.
Yeah, perfect.
Is there, and may I ask a question, Chair?
Yeah.
Is there an amount or any background documentation that we are reviewing before voting, or is it really just the authority for the foundation to receive funds on behalf of the arts, on Yountville Arts?
Yeah,
The
it's
latter, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the second one. And I could just say that we would only be able to apply for the $5,000 or less.
Okay,
So
that's helpful.
Funding, yeah, we don't qualify for the larger amounts. And in the future, I'll make sure that's included in the packet if we have these requests in the future, because I think that is important, the dollar amount.
Yeah, and Scott, if you want, I'm happy to send you the like the guidelines for this grant because they're public. That's public knowledge or information. So if you want to, if all of you want to see it, if you want just to take a look to learn a little bit more about it, that's easy.
I would like a copy as well, Jessica.
Yeah.
I'll send it to Sam who can send it out if that's
Send
more.
it to all of us if you could.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's just on the county website. So
There's
Yeah,
something in the Sun about it today, right? I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy to send a link out to everybody with that information. And in the future, I'll make sure to include those links just so you can look at it further.
Okay, thank you.
any other questions before we take a vote? No. Okay. Would someone like to make a motion to approve Yountville Arts to apply for an art and culture grant from Napa County Arts and Culture Advisory Committee for Art Sip and Stroll?
I'll move for that.
Yeah,
All right.
I
I
make
will
a
say
motion to,
Scott made the motion and a second.
I'll second.
Carol for the second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 4 ayes and 1 abstain.
All right, let me catch up with my
5 ayes.
system. Perfect.
1 unofficial aye.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're finally able to apply for that money. I know that's been one of the ones that has been talked about for a long time. So that's really great to see. Are there any board member reports about anything not on the agenda?
No,
Been pretty quiet.
Nothing specific today.
Nothing specific today. Okay. Well, if that's it, then
Wow.
that's it.
It's great to see everyone.
Yeah.
Great. Our next, so I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting then to our next meeting, which is on April 23rd at 3 p.m. on Zoom still,
Yeah.
forever and ever.
Mhm.
All right, and I will follow up with Scott and Carol, and we'll find a good time to do some deeper dive in introduction to this board. Yes, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Anyone who's interested. If we get more than a quorum, I'll just put a short agenda out. But if anybody wants to sit in, I'll do a little tutorial. But I think Pam and Billy and Jessica were there when we drafted all the administrative policies and everything. So it would probably be boring, but you're welcome to. Thank you all for your time. Have
All
a great
right, thank you,
weekend.
Thank you.
everyone.
Very
Have a
welcome.
good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
Bye.
Are we adjourned or do we move for adjournment?
Jessica moved for
I'm
adjournment.
going to have to do something because I'm having trouble hearing. So it must be in my device.
No, it's not all your device.
Are you having a hard time hearing everybody
Yes,
or just me?
I'm having a hard
Oh.
time hearing everybody,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
but especially you, Samantha, and Jessica, I couldn't hear. I could hear Scott.
I will work on that for myself. I'm testing a new camera and it sounds like the sound isn't so good.
Oh.
So I'll work
Because
on
you
it.
certainly have more meetings than anyone else besides Jessica. So yeah.
Yeah, I just got this new little camera today and I was trying it. So it sounds like the sound isn't so good.